for this show and BCNA, I will get on my bike and I will ride to Perth.
No,
I am going to ride to Perth. But there's a catch.
What?
There's a bit of a catch.
Yes.
I'm not just going to take my time, I'm going to race. So I'm going to go further than the Tour de France in less days. So I am going to race to Perth and hopefully get there in time to meet you guys.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. There is an unbelievable buzz in this room here. Shane Crawford, 3 weeks ago, took off from Melbourne, and as we've said, 3,600 kilometres over 22 days. It's very easy to say, Jim, it rolls off the tongue. Man. But when you actually put your mind to it and you sit down and think about it, about 160, 170, 180 Ks a day.
Into the wind, into the sun.
The mental toughness of this man to do this, Samuel, we've sat back and have been amazed. We've followed it through the Footy Show Facebook page. We've spoken to his support crew, who are also been enormous, and he is on the final kilometre, and very soon, as soon as he comes into view, in actual fact, we'll head out there and he'll ride in here, and I think it is going to be one of those moments that you're going to be very, very thankful that you're here to witness.
And Gary, also the emotional journey it took him on. We saw when he ran from Adelaide to Melbourne and the amazing impact that the women that came and saw him on that journey had, and he was spent by the time he got to Melbourne last time. This has been a much bigger journey. He's met a whole lot more people, and they've had an amazing impact on him. It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah, and well, although he said it in an impromptu fashion that this is what he wanted to do, this is a man who thinks about it. Here he is. This is our first look. This is our first look at him. This is entering the magnificent Crown Complex, and this is a moment we've all been looking forward to, none more so than his family, Olivia, and his kids, Ben and Charlie, who are here in the audience as well. So that's going to be a moment, and I think he just might take his time in this last 200 or 300 metres, Samuel, as all these wonderful pit ladies out there that have helped him along the way and provided such extraordinary support. And he is just making his way in here now, and it leaves you with a lump in your throat.
It does. I know. This is the Australian of the Year riding in here, Gary.
Well, what he has done. And there's Olivia and Ben and Charlie. What he has done defies logic in lots of ways, and what we are going to do as he makes his way just through the corridors here and joins us, we're going to take the opportunity now just to sit back, and this is something that will give you an appreciation for, as Jim pointed out rightly, the emotional toll that it can take on all the people involved here, not only Shane but the breast cancer sufferers and their families, and it's a marvellous package. And on the back of this, Shane
My mum was diagnosed with breast cancer, and we thought that she might have been able to overcome it, but
This man has touched an entire population over the past 3 weeks. It has got bigger and bigger, and as you go through life you work out there are two types of people. There are people who talk about doing things, and then there are people who actually do it. Please welcome Shane Crawford.
Would we have a seat for you?
We haven't got a seat for me,
Would
Sam.
we have? Well, take this seat, please. I think I can stand.
We haven't got a
you've
seat for you.
Just ridden 33,600 I reckon I can stand while this.
I've been sitting enough.
You are correct, sir. You are a legend.
Shane, welcome and well done. It is amazing. what you can do when you put your mind to it, and you've been an inspiration not only for everyone here tonight, but I think the whole country. So I'm lost for words.
Yeah.
So am I after that. All I want to say is thank you so much to the generous Australians along the way. It's incredible. All the country towns, the little communities, the marvellous little communities have really embraced what we're trying to do, which was obviously raise money, but awareness for BCNA. And it was a journey that I'll never ever forget. I can't thank them enough. You know, the smaller the town, the more that they would get into what we're trying to do. And, you know, you go to towns with a population of 30 and you'd have 100, 200 people waiting for you, and they'd hand over $10,000 to say, keep going and well done, and we really appreciate what you're doing. And I can't thank those little towns enough. And also the massive corporate donations. You know, thank you so much. That money is going to make a massive difference to a lot of people really doing it tough, and it will help save lives, and that's what it's all about. It's not about me riding to Perth, it's about helping people who are doing it tough, and I'm so glad the Footy Show, Channel 9 and BCNA have really come together and worked together like a team. And also these guys over here, that is my support team, and have a look how amazing and wonderful they have been. They for 22 days, and obviously they're preparing for what we're about to do. The work that they put in, they donated their time, they made sure that we all stuck together and knew what it was all about, and everyone worked so well in so many different roles, and they made sure that we got safely to Perth, but we really connected with the communities, and I can't thank those guys enough. A wonderful support team.
We need to acknowledge these people, Jim, because let's go through every one of them.
Well, Adrian Andrigetto, we all know very well, part of the Nine family for many years as a superstar. Wayne McPherson is an unbelievably talented cameraman and editor who put all of that together, and Macca is the best. Macca. Frankie Bench is a great friend of ours as well and has been a huge part of it. And Dr. Mitch Anderson, who has been a big part of keeping Crawf on the road.
Albert Latu is Crawf's personal masseuse, has been throughout his playing days, and has been with him every single step of the way. Brendan Casey, a driver and security. Andrew Heim, a driver and security. Fantastic to be able to give you time. And also to Muzzer Schofield, the coach captain of the big bus that took Crawf across the pass. Well done to you guys.
And still going, Amanda Brookhouse from BCNA is a superstar. Leon Nadella, the bike mechanic, and he had a huge role, of course, the whole way along. Dan Carter, Emma Wells-Jones. Amazing people who, of course, help with the media and photography and publicity. And Butch Crawford, who got a very nice mention in that piece done by Macca, and he has a special role, of course, as your uncle and father figure, Crawf, and they have done a great job, yep.
Now, Shane, you wouldn't have got to where you are football-wise if you didn't have character or discipline or resolve. But was there ever a stage when you thought, I just don't think I'll be able to do this? Was there ever when you started out and you'd been riding for 10 hours and you weren't even out of, you were about 100k out of Melbourne, and you thought, what am I doing?
Probably halfway through, I had a couple of days where I really, if anything, got frustrated with myself. But then, to be honest, the way I looked at it, my role was just to ride my bike and talk to beautiful people along the way, which I was very lucky to do. So, of course, there's times where you thought, gee, am I ever going to make it? But I can assure you, having a team like that behind me and obviously connecting with the communities, my job was quite simple. Just get on and pedal and move along and not go at a great pace, but move down the highway and tick it off each day.
Hey Shane, what about your family team? Your beautiful partner Olivia and your boys there when you walked in, and you haven't seen them for 22 days?
Yeah, I know. It's Olivia's been an incredible mother, 4 kids.
5.
And 5, including me. So I actually said to her, I want to ride my bike to Perth. Oh, I actually said I want to ride my bike, and she said, no worries, go for a ride. But then I told her it was for 22 days to Perth, and she was fully supportive of me doing what we set out to do, and she's been fantastic. And obviously I've missed my kids. I've never been away from home that long, and I can't wait to spend a bit of time with them over the next few days.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's great to have Olivia, Ben and Charlie in the house as well. What about physically? Physically, your legs, your arms, I mean...
Your
back,
rod?
yes, your bum and all those sorts of things. But I mean, what sort of impact then has it had?
It's a hard one at the moment. Like, there was times you get on the bike and your legs are saying, what are you doing? But comparing it to the run was obviously something where it really impacted my body probably a bit more because of the impact with the road and running, whereas the bike you can recover a bit better. But you know, we had a couple of days where the winds really picked up across the Nullarbor and you really felt like you were riding into a brick wall. But to be honest, as I said before, my role was pretty easy. All you have to do is ride your bike.
Well, Shane, the amount of money that is going to be raised by what you've done is quite extraordinary. We don't know exactly what that is yet, but we know it's extraordinary. And the beneficiaries of that are the Breast Cancer Network Australia and the unbelievable work these people do. And Raylene Boyle's a great friend of this show, and Maxine Moran is a great friend of this show. And of course, they are the people behind BCNA, as well as the beautiful pink ladies. So I don't know whether we can get to you, Maxine. Are you able to speak to us yet?
Yep.
You must be very proud of Shane, because not only the awareness that he's brought, the amazing work that you do, but very soon I think we're going to be able to announce a pretty special figure.
Well, it's just been incredible, the amount of money that's been raised, but it is so much more than the money, and I know that's what Shane has been focused on. I mean, every street and every town that he rode through, the connections that he made with tens of thousands of people, and the effect that that had on the communities and on the individuals that he touched, that was incredibly important. And it's important because when you think about Shane, over the last 22 days that you've been riding, another 900 women have been diagnosed with breast cancer in those 22 days. So this disease has a massive impact on our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our aunties and everybody around them. And I think that is why what you did was so important, because it was a personal connection that you were able to gain from your ride. It was just outstanding.
And Raylene, thanks, Maxine. Raylene, great to see you again, and it's great to see all the ladies here. And you're an unbelievable athlete and sportswoman yourself. What about what he's actually done? I mean, the legacy is going to be far-reaching and forever, but the actual physical feat, do you marvel at that?
Yeah, there's two sides of it, isn't there? One, I think he's a bloody idiot. I mean, Jesus, who'd want to do that? But two, I just think he's a hero. He's a hero to so many of the women and all of us who have had breast cancer. It's going to make an enormous difference to the programs that we run, the money that is raised, but also the impact of awareness and maybe just stirring some sort of interest in one woman to go and have a checkup and possibly find that she's got breast cancer and in turn save her life. It all makes a difference, and we really love Shane and love what he does, and we're very grateful, mate.
We appreciate having you both in the audience. And Crawf, I've got more questions, but you may or may not realise how far-reaching your feat has gone here in the country. It's gone right across the country. Everyone's been involved and bought into it. And there are your mates back at home in the footy world, of course, that have been following your progress. And your old mates from the Hawthorn Footy Club, your coach Alistair Clarkson rang me through the week and said that they'd also like to make a contribution. So rather than get them over here, they've got footy commitments on the weekend. They wanted to send this message to you.
G'day, Crawf. Obviously, you inspired us while you're here playing with the Hawthorn Football Club, but what you've gone through the last 3 weeks to raise money for such a fantastic cause, it's a super effort. So on behalf of all the players here, we'd like to donate this cheque of $10,000 to the Breast Cancer Network Australia. It's a super effort, and hopefully this helps you guys out.
Luke Hodge and the Hawthorn players who, as you say, dived into their own pocket, Gaz, which is amazing. Crawf, can I ask you about the emotional toll? Because if one person comes up to any of us and talks about their battle with cancer or their dear loved one who lost their battle with cancer, that is a tough enough conversation. You have met thousands of people in the last 21 days and have had to have that same conversation each time. How do you go with that?
Well, like anyone, it's always very difficult, but I find that, you know, if you have a hug, you look each other in the eye and you sort of just know that you're there for each other, and that's what it was about. It's showing people who are doing it tough, whether it be with breast cancer or with any type of cancer, that, you know, we're right behind them to support them in their battle. And yeah, normally I'd sort of just take on as much as possible and try and be brave about it and then get on my bike and shed a few tears as I head off. But that, to me, I found inspiring, a lot of their battles, but also very motivating to get me to the end of the line.
You've got a great sense of humour, always have been, larrikin, like playing the fool. You met plenty of characters out there which would have put a smile on your face at various stages. Talk us through a few of these.
Well, in the middle of nowhere, these couple of guys came and joined me. That there is the Nullarbor nymph. She came running out of the bush and said, "I'm the Nullarbor nymph," and then she ran off into the bushes. These girls, just the other day, there's Gary. Thank you for joining us, Gary. Look, I really can't thank the country towns enough. They were incredible, and just the effort that they would put into raising money and entertaining us in any way, shape or form, it really was just incredible, and I really can't thank them enough.
Well, let's have a look at Kalgoorlie. I said before, this is a town that's steeped in the most incredible history and very generous people there, but you were joined by a very good friend in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, and Sam was great. Everyone loved having Sam there, and for him to make the effort to come to Kalgoorlie and donate his time, but really get behind the cause. $60,000 was raised that night, and which is just incredible, really, for one little footy club to really get behind that. It's incredible. And as I was walking out, a lot of the miners were shaking my hand and handing me gold nuggets. They seriously were. Yeah, I got 5 or 6. They said, "Give these ones to your little boys."
Yeah, I saw them.
Swallow. But yeah, like, as I said, the generosity of people to contribute, amazing.
Okay, so we have a tally that is nudging up to something that is unbelievable. We can't tell you what it is at the moment because we're still adding it all up, but trust me, we are not far away from doing something and announcing something that is extraordinary. And what we can say is it's still open, you can still contribute, and we also are going to auction the bike. Provided by Giant there that you rode for 22 days and the jersey.
It's a great bike, but I never want to ride it again.
No, exactly right. So Shane don't want it, but that is an unbelievable piece of memorabilia. So footyshow.com.au/Crawf.com.au. So that is open until next Thursday. The bike, a personally signed jersey that Crawf wore on this trip.
And Gary, this could be a win-win if Shane would like to let himself stay at the Perth Zoo for a couple of days and show his red ass. He could pretend he's he could pretend he's a baboon. He could sit in a tree for a week and people will think he's a baboon with that big red...
Yeah, we got it.
As beautiful a place as the Perth Zoo is, I'm not sure that's where you're going to spend your next week or two, but what are you going to do? Everyone watching at home and in the auditorium here want to know what you're going to do now.
I'm going to have a couple of days off, obviously see my family, and then head back to Melbourne and get back to work.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, it's not very exciting, is it?
No, that's exciting.
I'm not riding home, I can assure you of that.
You have heard that right. This is finally from me anyway. We've seen you evolve as a person and mature, I think, in lots of ways over the since your playing days. You become an elder statesman at the Hawthorn Footy Club and you matured as a footballer. I think what we've seen and been privileged to watch is you mature as a person over the past 10 years, as a father to your beautiful kids and a partner to Olivia, and now as a broader hero to so many people. How has it changed you?
It's been life-changing. Obviously when I put my hand up for the run, I just felt like I was going to contribute in a small way, but it really did change my life. Obviously playing football, a lot of footballers really do get involved in a lot of charities, but with the run it changed my life and made me want to contribute and help as much as possible. And when the Footy Show had finally locked away that they wanted to go to Perth, I thought, beauty, here's a great chance for me to ride my bike and connect with the communities and try and raise some money.
Well, have you thought of what you're going to do next?
Yes, Gary.
I know it's a stupid question, but
I was just worried about finishing today, and it hadn't virtually rained the whole way. I was very lucky with the weather. And then I come down a big steep hill just out of Perth and it started bucketing down, so I was holding on tight, following the police cars into Perth.
What about swim to New Zealand? And we'll have a show there for you. We'll be waiting on the beach.
Maybe you could sail along in your boat next to me the whole way.
Waiting on the beach.
Hey, Shane, I know Gary's going to get to a break, but when you just, with that pink can, sprayed that lady on that bit of wood there, that is the finale of one of the more astounding things I've ever seen, and I think I speak for us all. That is just amazing. Well done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed. Bought my hanky.
Enjoy this moment, Shane. We want you to enjoy it. And as we do, if we can just have, I'm sure we can go again, but I also want to thank Channel 9 and particularly the people at the Footy Show who have been doing this for 20 years, this show, and have been so committed to helping Shane out. And I know Shane is so appreciative of the people upstairs and Brent Williams and Tim Cleary and the whole of Channel 9. I want to thank all these great people over here who have been mentioned and named, but that's not enough thanks. We also want to thank Nissan, who have provided so much, and all of those major sponsors who have been, as I said, next week we'll make an announcement where you'll all sit back and be very, very proud of
Adrian Beck's another one we need to mention. A huge part of it.
I could name another 30 or 40 people, but they know who they are, so I just want to acknowledge them. But most of all, and most importantly, and I think we can be upstanding again, we want to thank you, mate. We are proud of you. You are a hero. We're going to take a break. Shane Crawford.